Now that we have installed the plugins, we can now load our points. So you can drag and drop their points so that they can just overlay on the base maps. So first you can see that using the OSM base map, the points are well aligned. So we can go on and start our analysis. I can switch this off. So we'll go to last tools, and in the last tools, I'll first check the quality and get some information about this file. So what I'll do, I will load in the points, and without changing anything, I'll just click on run. It will take a few seconds, and in the log window, you can see we have some information. We have the classification, we have the user data, we have everything that these points contain in them. So after this, you can close this and I can proceed to view. You can always, this is another option, and now you can view this data. So in the same last tools, under the file checking quality, you can check the last view, and you can add the points again. So this opens another window. I can leave the others as default and run this. So what this does, it shows this data in a window, in a last viewer, so that you can visualize it. If you didn't visualize it in the first time, there's no problem, but you can do it this. With this, we have more advantages because I can right click on this image and I can render only by what I want, maybe ground. I just want to view the ground, or I can do with buildings alone, and they will just pop up. Seems like we don't have buildings, so I can just keep doing vegetation. Uh, doesn't seem like this place is more urban, so I'll just keep them as all returns. So after we have viewed our data, we can proceed to split this data. So one thing about this OpenStreet data is that it is limited, since we are doing for research purposes, it's limited to 1,000,000 points. So what I will do is I will split this data, because when I was downloading it, it showed around 3 million points. So under file processing points, I will look for last split, and under last split, I will input the file, uh, and then here I need a command to split these into 1,000,000 points. So I'll just add 1,000,000, those are 6. Then I'll save this to my folder. So before you do this, you need to create a folder for split. And when you open it, under save as, you can change to las. Then maybe you can say split .las. So this is how we split this data. And once you've done this, again, in the same output, you can remove the .las. Then you can just click on run. So you will see, even if I open the folder, you can see the files being generated dynamically. And you can see the changes. Instead of .las, you have .las, which is another format for this data. So we'll wait for a few seconds, and I can see it has already finished. So once you're finished, we'll proceed to converting these points into raster format, so that we can generate the DEM. So in the last tools, under the folder raster derivatives, you can double click on the last to DEM, and here we'll put the directory in which we split the data, which was this folder. And in the input wildcard, I'll change this to .las, because you could see from the previous run we generated .las files. Can keep the others as they are, and then I'll save to a directory. I created another folder that I named raster, so that the files could go in. So I'll just click on run. Again, you can go to the same folder, and you could see how these files are being generated. So I have a KML, I have a .tif, because I mean, these are more interested in the TIFF files, because raster is in TIFF. So you can see it has already finished, so I can close. So after that, I can go to my raster and I can drag these into the canvas. So the three of them. So you can see it's a continuous raster that covers our area of interest. So since I'm not interested in single points, because if I turn one off, it means the raster is incomplete, we'll build a virtual raster. So at the top menu bar, the menu toolbar, I'll go to raster, then miscellaneous. I'll build a virtual raster. So in the input layers, I'll select all and or remove the base maps. I can click OK, then I just click run. So I haven't saved this, but it will just be added into the layers. So you can see I have a new file. I can check the splits. I have one file for the raster. So if I check this, check it, you can see it's now one complete raster. And if you look in the background, you can see the buildings from the OpenStreetMap, how they are overlaying. So this is a good progress. So next, after doing that, we need to change this to a hill shade. So you can click on the virtual, and under properties, you can go to symbology, and under the render type, I'll select hill shade, apply, and then click OK. So you can see we have created a hill shade from our virtual raster. So this is our hill shade. So after this, you can do some terrain shading to this hill shade. So the terrain shading plugin that we installed, it's in the toolbox 2. So I will open it, expand it, and then I will go to shadow depth. I will input the virtual, then I'll save this to my folder. So we can name it, let's call it shade. So this creates a shade to our raster. Then I click on run. So after a few seconds, it should be done. I close this window and check the virtual. So you can see it added some shading which is not pretty visible. So what we'll do, we will add some color to this. So in the shade, the one that you just generated, the shadow depth, I'll just click on it, properties, and then I'll go to symbology under style, and then I'll load a style. So using the plugin, the QGIS terrain shading master, you can unzip it. You will proceed to styles. You can see these three files, the shading 50 to 500. So you can play with them and see which one best gives you results. So I can just move this aside. So let me minimize this. So you can see if I play with 50, it's pretty much the same. I can do the same for 250, apply, pretty much the same. So I do for 500, open, apply, okay. So seems like it's not, the shading is not being applied because it's because this hill shade pretty seems clear, but with other data sets, I'm pretty sure it will work pretty fine. So once you have generated this, we will see, you can see that we have done a DSM for this region. And if you wanted to change this to RGB, you can always toggle this or overlay with imagery. So what I will do, I'll use the satellite hybrid, then I will minimize this and move the satellite hybrid the top so that it can overlay this. Under the satellite hybrid, I'll go to properties, and under properties, I can go to symbology, no, transparency, sorry. Then I will reduce the transparency of this. So to ensure that I can see my hill shade, But this just because I don't have an satellite imagery, I'm trying to use the base map that I can you can illustrate. So I can just uncheck the sorry, let me uncheck the OSM. So something like this. So you can see it's pretty much overlaying on the base map, and you can check, you can see the features, how they are being overlaid, the buildings, they all seem to fall at the right place. So we have created a base map, DSM, sorry, that will show us uh, how this DSM falls. So I've reduced the shading even much more. And you can see this if I check the virtual and compare it against the base map, you can see most of the features, if not all, fall at the right place. So thank you, and subscribe.